Hello everyone to So Hard Work, and this is Caroline, and this series is actually how to read a tarot and oracle series. And in this short series actually we'll be getting into getting started. So a getting started series before we actually get into a technical reading on how to read the tarot and oracle. So hello everyone. So I'm Caroline. This is So Hard Work and hello. So for today's session and today's lesson is actually about getting started and how to gather your spiritual support team, your spiritual support family during tarot and oracle readings. And this is a very crucial and important element because whenever you're doing some form of spiritual communication or spirit communication, mediumship or psychic, it really comes down to depending on who you are working with, and divine spirit and your spiritual team of light is essential and key component in actually spiritual communication. And this actually also goes the same way in channeling work as well. So whenever I do these different builds, psychic, mediumship, channeling, spiritual team of light and divine spirit, or a god or goddesses, are key elements that I work with and work very closely with. So what they help is they actually, firstly, they can protect you. Secondly, they can set you up with the best connectivity that you really need. Maybe it's with a different being that you want to speak with. Perhaps it is to call in Archangel Michael, is to call in the archangels as a whole as well. You would need them to properly call them in, and also to ensure that everyone is in a safe and close and secure space. um, Whenever that mediums, psychics, and readers or healers, they talk about a protected, clear, and safe space, they really mean by that. So they want to ensure there's no negative energy, not just that, any interference, any beings that may not be the best and highest good during the session for the other person that you're reading for, doing a healing work for, doing channeling for, as well as including yourself. You really want to have that protected space with your team of lights help and with divine spirit help. And why is that so? It's actually that divine spirit and your spiritual family can afford the highest protection, as divine spirit is the almighty creator of creation and universe, and also works very closely in energetic work, of course. So in that regard, divine spirit is one other key component to really work with consistently, including any god or goddesses that is really so important, and I can't really stress upon it. And your spiritual team of light, that all of them are actually light beings, light workers, right? And it is known in the spiritual and essential community that light beings and light workers are carrying forth mission that is really for the highest good of all. So whenever that professionals, they work in this field, they can pick up any interference or negative energies or people, sort of spirit beings that may want to join in the session, but it's really not for the highest good. And the other point is that you really want that focus during that session to do any sort of work, psychic, mediumship, channeling work, or reading work with your other client in a focused space during that session. So whenever professionals, they don't really set up a space for that focus session, you would perhaps pick up other telepathic information from another person that may not be having a session with you, but you're already picking up on that information, psychic information, energetic feeling, maybe feelings towards you, emotionally, psychically, energetically, and you would already pick that up. But for when you're carrying out a session, so during that 10-minute session, 5-minute session, or even 30 or 1 hour session, you want that really clean and clear space for that client, because you can't really focus and on hearing what divine spirit and your spiritual family is actually sharing with you. So this is what I actually would strongly have been suggesting to other people whom also want to develop themselves as a tarot and oracle reader, and also as a psychic reader as well as in mediumship. These are really important key things that you will want to pay attention to before you sort of fully open yourself to this type of work, spirit communication. Just things that is really, really important and key to be aware of. So these are the few things for gathering your spiritual support team of light for this session, and why I actually planned this for the getting started. So when you actually get into the technicalities about reading, how to read tarot and oracle, you get a clear idea how to set up your space already, along with calling in your team of light, your spiritual family, and divine spirit for the session. And make it a habit, if you can, to call in divine spirit, divine god, or a specific goddesses. It can be goddess Hathor, it can be goddess Selene, it can be god Anubis, it can be god Poseidon, it can be god Zeus. Just call them in, and they will help you. They will be present with you. They will help you during your session, and not to worry about it. If you really feel concerned and worried, if you're calling the appropriate light being of light, divine light being of light, you can ask divine spirit to help you, knowing that divine spirit is pure light being, to help you call in the best god or goddess to be present in your session, to help you through the session as well, for your highest good. And also for where if you're reading for another person, then also including the other person as well. And this will help ensure that you're bringing the best light being, and ensuring also sort of giving you some sort of peace of mind. I know that sometimes when people get into wanting to get into trying to read for yourself or for another person, you really are very concerned about whether if you're drawing in negative energy or any energy into your life that may not be the best. And this opening sentence, opening calling in, will help you guide the best light being into the session for yourself or for others. So that's all for this session and this lesson. It's a very important lesson, and I highly really recommend everyone to pay attention to this lesson, because it really sets the tone for your sessions, your readings for yourself and others as well. And I'm sure that any other professional readers will know how important this lesson is when you started out reading, or when you did some research as well. So thank you all for joining in. I'm Caroline, and really wonderful to meet all of you for this lesson. So see you all for the next one.